So this day started out, we wanted to replace the shock on Luciano's Hyosung, which was leaking oil. He got the shock off eBay. We were ready to do it. I got the garage all set up, but the day quickly went off the rails, and in a could have been very tragic way, we somehow managed to salvage the day. But it was unpredictable, and I always say I hate Groundhog Days. This was anything but a Groundhog Day, and I won't spoil what's coming up. This day is recorded. I haven't moved any of the video around or anything. This is exactly how it happened. Unpredictable. And I've had a lot of shop days, a lot of work days that have been interrupted by little tragic events, and this one in 28 years has been the worst one. Now today on this video, we're going to try to show how to change a rear shock on a motorcycle, a typical one shock, which is typical of almost all of the bikes nowadays, I think. And Luciano is going to come over with his Hyosung. He's got a replacement shock for it, and it's usually a pretty straightforward job. Things that'll make it easier, a come along. I have an electric come along and a manual one. And what really makes it a lot easier is when you have a second guy, a second pair of hands, because you have to move the back wheel up and down to line up the bolts. Anyway, it's a relatively simple job. We're going to try to show how to do it. If you're new to this and you have a few tools and you have a friend and maybe even a come along, you're in, and should be a relatively straightforward swap out for the shock. Now I think the original shock was leaking oil and he got one off eBay. I'm just trying to put this together. He's not here yet, but we're going to figure it out as we go along and try to share it. And I think it's good information because the shocks on the bikes, from time to time people want to upgrade them, put different brands on, or change the spring or whatever. And that'll be a video for another video of how to change the spring. Right now we want to show how to just change the shock and how to get things out of the way of where you have to put the wrenches. So I think there's some good information to share on this, and it's a relatively simple job. Maybe interesting for you to watch. Now, like on our MT-09, every bike is just a little bit different. There's a bolt at the bottom of the shock, a bolt at the top, and a lot of times you got to move bodywork, seat, tank. I don't know what. On an R1, there's a lot of things have to be removed. Every bike is just a little bit different, but the result is pretty much the same. You really have to, some way, somehow, be able to get to the nut and bolt on the top mount and the bottom mount, and then as the wheel will be free, you like to hang the bike or jack the bike up, maybe with a car jack if you didn't have a come along. Your helper can move the back wheel up and down as you line up the bolts top and bottom. Again, relatively simple job, but if you do it, and I have done it by myself, and it's a lot more work when you do it by yourself. And it's twice as much work if you do it without a come along. So first thing, as always here, we got to move some bikes around and just wait for Luciano to get here. Now this is an electric come along from Harbor Freight, and of course you have the controls over here. That makes it a lot easier to do any of the work where you have to jack up one wheel or even both off of the bike, and it's a really handy tool to have. Now in our case we need a heavy-duty tie-down strap too, and we have to figure out how we're going to get the back of the bike up off the ground, and Luciano should be here soon. So Luciano got here, but we have a tragic meltdown. We have a leak in the pond. Oh, I just can't tell you what a tragedy this is. I've already lost one fish. And what I have to do is take whatever water I can, because you can't put water from a hose in there. I've got to get some of this water and try to get the fish out, but it's just going to be a busy day. We're trying to save some of this water, because this water is the only thing that's going to keep the fish alive. They will not live in hose water. So that's going to be our new pond back there. But anyway, Luciano's taking this apart. And you got the shock with you, right?
Yeah, it's in my
okay.
back pocket.
Oh, in your back pocket, okay. This look easy to get to the bolts?
The bottom one's easy, the top one's a pain.
Yeah, you're going to have to take the seat, maybe even raise the tank up. Put a rubber hammer under there or something. It's always something. Old people, old motorcycles.
Yeah, old underwear.
Old underwear. Well, we got all the fish out and into tubs, but we're waiting to see what we're going to do about that pond leak. But in the meantime, we'll get the shock We got it on there, and this is just to stabilize it.
So,
Yeah, you're good now. That's good enough.
Yeah.
Now you got the bolts loose already, or one of them?
The one on top I removed an out, the one on the bottom I have to do it right now.
Okay. The bolt's right out in the open there? I see it from here.
the
Okay.
bolts is in there.
What about the top bolt? The top's going to be, let's see.
The top half, they just push it out.
Okay.
See,
All right.
The nut is over here.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're all done on it.
Yeah.
Okay, then once the front wheel, once that wheel drops down, I'll get back here and hold it up.
Yeah.
You wiggle the new shock in. Did you get the new one on eBay? Well, why should I even ask? What a silly question.
It's Amazon special.
It says right here, great for pogo sticks and Hyosungs.
Oh
Who
my
put that
God.
on there? You got the right wrench?
Yeah, I'm bolt there.
From the other side, bang it this way?
Yeah, from
Sure.
that side.
All right, I see it. I see it. The bolt's got to go toward you.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Because the back wheel's going to drop down. There you go. Hold the back wheel up. Let it come down. Okay, you're at a link now. You can pull it
I
out.
got one on top.
Okay.
It's the same thing. Oh, this one I can go from here.
It might be easier to take this other link out, Luciano, this link, then you can pull the shock out the bottom. You're going to have to pull it out through the bottom. You got to take this, and that means the exhaust system's got to come off.
No.
How are you going to get this out? This is like an R6. You got to get that pipe out of the way. Okay, so if we have to do that,
Put more
this
water
comes
in here.
off. Maybe you could look.
That?
No, you can't.
Yeah, pump.
Okay, there's another way. You can take the top link off
That's what I
because the
think.
bolt goes out your side. Okay, leave the bottom bolt in, and the top one will take the top link off. That'll let this come down, and you can pull a shock
Yeah,
out.
it's metal or whatever.
You got to remove that one, yes, and it's got to go out from my side to your side.
Metal box, so.
It's a 17, yeah.
Shut the pump off so it doesn't take anything out.
Even so,
As the water goes down.
it's 19.
Somewhere above,
That's not
right
even
above the
that.
pump line.
Yeah, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it the way you think you are. That's got to come off. Don't worry, we got expert mechanics here. Know how to do this. Yeah. Otherwise, if you don't move that, how do you get this?
Right, yeah.
You follow? Okay.
You can't remove from the top, otherwise you have to move the gas.
No. You got to be able to pull it off. Let's hope. Okay, now you don't need me. Loosen it with your side.
I do over there, the tool.
You got the 19?
No.
Yeah.
You just have to do it.
Yeah, that's why you got me. You got to have professionals to do this. See if you can loosen it from that side. You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
If you don't do that, the shock's not going to come out that side. So that's good that it's good we figured this out while the fish are swimming around out there. If this is too small, I got an 18 too.
And the big one. Picked it up. Said don't touch it with your hand.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
Small socket, 17, coming up. All right, here's a short 17, but it's on a 3/8 handle.
Remember the signs there.
See if we can make this work. And here's the extension if you need it. This is why they lost the war. They can't design stuff, you can take it apart.
You got on the range, just to lose it.
Yeah, I'll take them off.
No, I don't think I just lose it.
1 second.
The chain got loose.
Because the wheel is down lower than the shock. If I move the wheel this way even more, that chain will come right off. You ever worked on bikes before?
Morning he did.
Give me the half-inch socket.
Morning he-
Here, let me do this easy.
Right down the driveway. So I would have seen this.
I
like
want this.
third
I want the half-inch. I got it.
call, but
You're working with professionals here now, baby. All the right tools at the right price. Throw those on. All right, pull those out.
No. I need
If you saw what a job it was to get the links on
to come out.
Chris's
early
R6,
at
wow,
6:20.
you would think this is a piece of cake.
Even if I wake up at
That's
6.
it, we had to take so much off the bike. Let's see. Oh my God.
See the oil?
Yeah. We could put this on eBay, tell them rebuilt by Luciano.
I can leave it to you first.
I gotta throw this in my fish pond.
You got a
Oh,
package
man.
today.
You got a package today from eBay. Oh my
Okay.
God. Okay, so now let me hand you the new one. Oh, that new one's a little bit longer.
No.
I got you. Okay, here's a new one. Can you slither it in there now?
I'll try.
I'll hold the back wheel up. You're gonna need me to hold on. Let me hold the back wheel. I'm gonna hold the bike. I got the bike.
Wait. You're gonna have
You need me to hold the wheel up.
No. Under the boat, man.
That bolt to get in there is really hard. I'm sweating, baby.
I believe you.
A sweaty day. And this is what has to happen. These links have to come off on this bike before you can get the shock up, or else I guess you could take it out through the top. It's really, this is a lot more work than I thought it would be. It's a lot harder than doing that 750, that's for sure. And the FCR, the shock comes off a lot easier than this. And the last thing is we got to get this link in, and then we can tighten this, tighten this. It should be on the top of the cabinet.
Yeah.
Okay, give me the nut. Get one thread caught on here. I'll feel a whole lot better. Okay.
See, that shock was really like
Oh man, I thought you said you were going to pay me by the hour. You're paying me by the fish here. I hope those fish are doing okay, babe. We really had a problem with that fish thing today. Luciano came out. The fish is out. Oh my God, he jumped out.
He's a little guy.
No, he'll be fine. I don't know if you could make up a crazier adventure. That's going to go right through the screen. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. Yeah, they jump right through this. Wow. These are big fish, by the way. Everybody knows this. Whew. Don't worry about it. Well, I'm going to be out here all afternoon. Once we get done with your bike, I got to put bubblers in here. You cannot leave the fish in here without a bubbler, that's for sure. So what I'm trying to do is mix up some more water so I possibly could find... See, as the water goes down, the leak will be at where this levels off, but I don't know. It's going to be very difficult to get in there and patch it unless I can hang over the side.
Just get another line and put on top of this.
You're saying that it's 10 grand. You're saying that like
Well, I'll pay for
buy a
it.
new Ducati.
I'll pay for it.
You'll pay for it. Okay, that's good. You wish you could convince these fish to come in here and help us, flop around, put a shot. You got the hard work done. You just got to tighten up the bolts now and pay me. That's the only thing left.
Okay.
You pay me a check on ice and pay me in the summer.
All right.
What fun.
Check on ice.
A check on fish. What a day. This has been the biggest adventure I've had in a long time. Yeah, the bolt's not turning. You're lucky. Well, there it's turning. Let me get in there with a wrench. And on this bike, we had to take the rear sets off to get the bolt, because some of the bolts, just like an R6, they come out like the factory did that way on purpose. So what's left is to put the rear sets on. Yeah. Piece of cake. The fish could have did this without us. Oh, I hope that pond is going to be...
You're lucky I got up and look when...
I know.
Otherwise the Tati will be dead. Unbelievable.
This really was a big job. I thought these Korean bikes were easy to work on.
Oh,
Not really. Best part of the whole day. Hold the bike. Hold the bike. Don't take the jack out of there first, and I'll let it down. Just let the jack out first. Well, we're sweating out here. We're cooking. Oh my God. This guy can't pay me enough. Okay, you out of the way? Hold the bike. And make sure the kickstand's down. Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
All right, take the strap off and let's put the seats back on and then pay me. What a day. Looks like they're doing okay now. I got to get the bubblers in here. They need the bubblers. So what's more fun, changing shocks or fixing ponds?
I don't know.
Makes you want to buy some fish, huh?
Put the paint there.
No, actually, if it wasn't 97 degrees in the garage with that fan, we were really sweating. This would have gone a lot easier, but as it is, it got done. And the bottom line is, and for me, there's always a bottom line. It doesn't matter how hard a job is or how long it takes. The bottom line is, did it get done? And it's got done. Now, the fish pond was a whole nother issue. The fish pond, and we're not even going to try to cover it on this video. I'm going to make a dedicated video of what went wrong and some other tips that I wanted to pass on to my friends who have ponds like Chuck Holsapple, Dave Midgley, etc. But anyway, I wanted them to see in detail what had happened. Anyway, we wound up the day, and Luciano, by the way, picked up that orange fish. He was going to put it in his pocket, I think. But by the time he got it in his pocket, the thing was halfway down the driveway. Anyway, that's a subject for a whole nother video. How to catch fish when they're on your driveway. Anyway, there's a little thing that maybe a lot of people don't know. Some of the fish from today were out of water for quite a while, I think coming up on an hour. And we put them back into the tubs in the water, and they were fine. Now, we're going to find out. If a week from now you read on the video that I don't have any fish, you'll know what happened. Anyway, hopefully that's all. The shock and the fish are behind us now. So Luciano has a brand new shock. The MT-09 is not going for a ride today, and that's all there is to it. Hey, I'm glad we got that done.
Yeah.
Now,
a must, otherwise I couldn't ride it.
I still got to figure out what I'm going to do with the fish pond, though. What a day.
There was a leak in all the olive oil.
I didn't know you were a great fisherman.
Yeah.
We were catching them as they were jumping out of the bucket. Now, I had added some water and it went right back down, so I don't know where. We got to figure out, well, we don't know. Or it could be the pump. There's a chance it's the pump, that it's pumping and that the tube is cracked underground. Or it's in the falls. We don't know. We're going to diagnose that on another video. Today, we got the shock done, and that was a good thing for Luciano. We got that done, and I don't think any more fish jumped out. Let's see. Nope, the lids are all on. This guy's trying to jump out, but he didn't because the lid was over. See, this is supposed to be over. Oh my God. What fish. If you think having a pond is fun, well, think about it. And as a free bonus today, Luciano got a set of, I have a bunch of extra handlebars that replace, see what's the problem when I rode the bike too, the handlebars are really wide.
Yeah.
Those are like motocross bars or something.
It is from a dirt bike.
The other ones are much narrower. You could change them in a half an hour.
Yeah.
Next time we ride, you'll have them.
As usual, I'll send you a check. For
yeah, that's right. Me a check on ice and pay me in the summer. What a day. You can't make this stuff up, can you? All right. Tell everybody up at Perry's I gone fishing. Literally. What a day. It started out to be a shock day. It ended up to be a fishing expedition. Well, we know now for sure this is a little bit more involved than we originally thought it was, or say than some of the other bikes that we've replaced shocks on. This got a little involved. So the final ending to today's graded pond adventure, it wound up really hoping that this is going to work. I put a ruler in a pond. The water hasn't gone down this is going to be 5 hours now. So what had happened is the pump that goes from here, I took that hose out and checked there's no leaks. It was filling up the filter, which then drains into the waterfall, and the pipe from the waterfall had, either I tripped it, I moved it back, so it was dropping water behind the waterfall. And we kind of together figured that out. But now, the key thing, and I'm going to make a dedicated separate video for my friends who have ponds and post it on YouTube about how this played out once it's totally done. But see, what you cannot do is just fill up the water. The fish are now stressed from this day of flopping around a driveway and everything. And I'm hoping we don't, when I come out in the morning, we will not be losing any fish. Let's hope. Now, I've had these guys over 25 years now. Craig, my son, and I dug this pond. And it's one of the things we did when we moved into this house. And I've enjoyed every minute of it. Maybe except for today. Now, Karen, who made us coffee and babysat us all day while we were working on these two projects, she reminded me, it's not 25 years, it's 28 years. And Craig, thank you for all the work, and the late George Venturini. We used his truck to get every stone that's around the pond. There was so many loads of those mica schist stones and that. And George, rest in peace, that pond is still one of the joys of my life, except for today. So at the end of the day, I always try to look back and say, what did I learn today? Well, today I learned that some of the bikes are a little more complicated getting that shock out the bottom. And in this case, the one bolt would normally have hit if we didn't want to take out some of the linkage. We would have had to take the whole exhaust system off. We circumvented that by taking off some of the connecting belt crank links. And I guess each bike is totally different, but it's certainly doable. But again, the thing to learn from this video is, and it's an important thing, is it's very handy to have the come along. It's almost mandatory to have a helper. And if things go smoothly, and they never do, and your fish pond doesn't leak, you're probably looking at a reasonable morning or afternoon of work, and with a couple of coffee breaks in between. But then some days like today, and you never know when one of these days is coming. These days come and go randomly, and we've had a few of them in the 28 years I've had the pond. And all of a sudden, the whole day changes. And I'm really going to make a dedicated video of what I've learned of having that pond for 28 years. And I do know that a lot of the stuff I've learned is useful information. So hope you did enjoy the video. If you need a shock change, get a friend who's nice and strong. And thanks for watching.